you spoke about being in the center, being anchored, you know, but sometimes we are really giving a lot, like we are really giving a lot as a parent, as a therapist, as a professional, as a whatever role that we have. And we do get burnt out. We get overwhelmed. We start shouting. We also have our tantrums. What does self care and me time mean to you? Do you think it's important? How do we give it to ourselves? Sometimes things are, I know it's about prioritizing, but I would love to know your views.
This has been such a journey for me. And I think that as caregivers, therapists, moms, we naturally give. That's what, when I'm in service to others, that's what makes me feel good. That's what fills me up. And for years, I had convinced myself that I didn't need self-care. I didn't need time away. I didn't need anything for me because I felt good what I was doing for everyone else. And inevitably, there were times where that didn't work, and I would start to notice that I would be more reactive. I was yelling at my own kids, or I was really tired at the end of the day. And I thought, I need to try harder. I need to exercise more. I need to eat better. I need to get more sleep. But it was almost in a way of punishing myself. And I think that the difference as I get a little older is that self-care isn't about a once-a-year vacation. And it's not about waiting until you're completely burnt out and then crashing and having to really just, it's many of us, and I noticed it for myself, when I would have a scheduled break, I would often get sick. And I felt that my body just didn't know how to relax, and it would almost save up. Oh, I can have my illness when she finally slows down and takes a break.
I know.
I chased that for years. And I think now it's a matter of kind of those routines. And the other thing that I feel for myself that's really important is I may not always catch when I'm burning out or when I need a reset or even just a day or to go for a walk or to step outside. I may not catch that. So I need to set myself up so that I build it into my routine. And I kind of giggle because this is what I teach people, but it's not an easy thing for me. And I have a piece of paper on my window. When I sit at the computer, it's taped to my window at all times. And the title of it is 10 Ways to Reset Your Nervous System in 5 minutes or less. Because because I would tell myself the same thing. I don't have time. I don't have time to step away. I've got all of these things to do. And so I made a list of listening to my favorite song or step outside and take 5 breaths and notice the sounds around you. So I coach myself that even I can do this in just a couple of minutes to feel more anchored again. And I notice the difference, but it doesn't always come naturally. And I think the next part of that is just really identifying who has you. So whether that's friends, whether that's family, but do you have people that will come and go for a walk with you or come and have fun or just have a really good, honest visit and they can co-regulate with you? I have that booked this afternoon. I have a friend that I haven't seen for a long time, and she is that person for me. I just feel so good being with her. And I have to make that, you talk about priorities, I need to make that a priority because I know that it is good for both of us and it will keep me being able to do the harder work long term.
Yeah, it's like making yourself the priority. It's like making yourself feel special. A very small story comes to my mind. I would love to share it with you. Story as in it's my life experience. When I saw my mom when we were younger, and my mom would cook and all. And if we have some leftover from yesterday, then she would say, oh, this I won't give it to your dad, I'll eat it and I'll make fresh food for your dad. That's how it was always. Okay. And I grew up seeing her, okay, like that. And then I got married, and then I don't know how it just came into me, and the food was there. And then I gave him, and I'm like, I'll give you fresh food, to my husband. And when I gave him that, I had a big tantrum and I spoke things which were so angry. I'm like, okay, only fresh food for you. What about me? What about this? What about that? He's like, Reena, are you trying to say that you also deserve it? Let's have half. We don't have to, you don't have to do that. You can just ask me what you want. So I feel the point when we start feeling too angry, too irritable on very small petty things, it simply means we are out of gas and we need to refill. And what you said are beautiful. Just going for a walk, just noticing around, I mean, waking up in the morning, seeing the sun, just at night, watching the moon. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be like, yeah, as you said, just going for a vacation. That's like waiting for the vacation to fill up your tank. Yeah.
And I
Great.
think right now we're seeing that so much because the people that would save up for the vacation, now that in Canada, we're still very locked down and we can't travel. But what we're seeing is people are really burning out more than they ever have because they're not getting the natural break. So it's like it's even more important to be able to do those little mini things. And yeah, I think as moms and just having so many competing demands, and you talk about culture, and I think that as women, we often get the message that our jobs are to nurture others, right? We sacrifice, we give, we make the fresh food for our families, and then we eat what's behind because somehow that, it's the martyr, right? The service mentality. And I think that when we teach our children to say, no, I matter too. This is important to me.
Exactly.
And I
Exactly. I
deserve.
matter too. Yes. Yes. Yes.
It teaches them the same thing, especially, the same roles that our children will follow. So if your son learns this is how the role of a husband is, and this is the role of a wife, well, they will emulate that. But if
True.
we show them, no, this may have been how my mother did it, but I'm not going to do it that way.
Yeah. I just want to break the chain here. That's it. I want to be
Yeah.
healed. Yeah. End of that trauma cycle that was going on. And this is the end. And it's a new whatever beginning there.